the second half. Pat McAfee will get us underway. Here he comes on the approach, and this Big East opener for West Virginia is good as on the touchback of McAfee. Air it out, go into the gadget bag, get it done, see what you can do. What do you got to lose? You're a 4-touchdown underdog as they start 1st and 10, and a penalty right off the get-go. Well, it's not a penalty. All right, just referee crew today, headed by referee John McDade. Some administrative work. And here we go. Syracuse on the attack first. Late arriving crowd here. Patterson going to throw it. Pump fake. Gets it underneath. Tom Ferrin, tight end to the 27. Here's their leading receiver. Picks up 7 yards. Take a look at the backs and receivers for the Orange. They'd like to get Brinkley loose. Rice Moss and Tim Lane have got to come up big, catching balls and stretching the defense. Meanwhile, the offensive line, Mike Sklardowski, moves up from the 2nd string. They move Carroll Madison from left guard to right tackle. 2nd down from the 27 for the Orange. That's Ferrin resetting. And a fumble, and Patterson's lucky to recover it. Eric Wicks was there, almost there, to make that reception, or the recovery. West Virginia, they lose 3 yards on that play. On that D-line, Dykes, Liebig, and Ingram do a nice job getting pressure up front. 2 tackles for loss for Dykes. Smart guys here. McLee's the best athlete. Henry's the academic All-American, never got anything less than an A. And there's 6 INTs in that back group, led by Eric Wicks. Vaughn Rivers returned a punt last week for a touchdown. Big 3rd down play. The Orange only 38% efficiency on the season, a big number for West Virginia. They're allowing 43% conversion. Blitz coming. Patterson in trouble, dropped the ball, picks it up, pushes forward, got the 1st down. He's a rugged individual. He ran through a tackle there, 9 yards on the pickup. Nice job inside there with Quentin Andrews getting the tackle.
Great play by the senior. He picks up the football off the drop back, had plenty of room to step up, and then he gets knocked there. He picks up the football very alertly. The senior, very calm, takes the football and moves the chains. That's a big play. I know it only seems like a 7, 8, 9 yard gain, but a very big play early to keep momentum on Syracuse's offense and keep possession of the football.
Both of these teams do a good job in their turnover margin. West Virginia's number 1 and Syracuse number 4, so they generally have been protecting the ball pretty well. Here's Patterson, short drop, nothing there. Comes back to his tight end, and he goes to J.J. Neshwat, junior out of Poughkeepsie, New York. Jay Henry brings him down, gain of 5.
Dave, so important to get these tight ends involved in the game early.
Tackled by Kevin.
Greg Robinson challenged his team. Hey, boys, got to go to work today.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And we have got to eliminate mistakes. They gave up big numbers on the ground last week to Larod Stevens-Howling, 221 yards, and today they faced the number 3 rusher in the country, and Steve Slayton. Tom Ferrin resets on the 2nd down play. I'll run it with Brinkley, nice yardage, close to a 1st down. Got it to the 42-yard line. Vaughn Rivers was there to help make the tackle. And Rich Rodriguez, the head coach of the Mountaineers of West Virginia, 4 Big East titles, defending champion in the Big East Conference. And last week plagued by multiple penalties. And Richie said, listen, you're not going to be any Dr. Ruth, any Dr. Phil, no Oprah, no looking for your inner self. He was chewing some behind this past week in practice.
He said there'll be no holding hands, no kumbaya. We're going to go ahead and go to work. And I believe him.
And he said that with a dead straight, thick, straight face, too. A 1st down run sets up Syracuse at its own 42-yard line. Patterson drops. Got pretty good protection. Flushed. Holds on to it. He's 240 pounds. Perry Patterson does a heck of a job to pick up 1.5 yards.
Patterson on the run.
Must have been tremendous coverage in that he didn't throw it. Jay Henry with the sack. gain of 1.
Well, if you can say one thing about the Orange offensively, they have to pick it up, especially today against the Mountaineers on the offensive line. They cannot put Perry Patterson underneath this duress and this pressure early in the game. And thank goodness that Perry has quick feet, even on a big frame. He goes at 242 pounds, but he still has enough elusiveness to get away. But that offensive line needs to control the Mountaineers up front.
Here's a look at the O-line for the Orange. High formation on the second down and long. Blitz on the corner. They run right into it. And Brinkley taken down almost immediately. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Good work in there by Eric Wicks, number 41, the strong safety, returning starter from a year ago. Senior out of Perry High School in Pittsburgh.
Boy, defensive coordinator Jeff Castile loves when they can put Eric Weeks on the edge, bring him from up top. He's unaccounted for. You cannot block him. The fullback runs right by him, and Stephen McDonald, because he has the assignment of the defensive end. So you bring an extra guy into the box, and the Mountaineers love to pressure you, especially on 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 right now, Dave.
8th play of a drive that started at their own 20 for the Orange. Pretty good protection. Throw. Catch made. First down, West Virginia territory. 46-yard line. Tim Lane went up to get it. Antonio Lewis on the coverage. Nicely done. A gain of 11.
Great catch on the outside, and credit Patterson for stepping up in the pocket, and he goes up. Rice Moss just climbs the ladder. This is a guy that hurt his shoulder last week, played very limited against Pittsburgh in last week's loss, but comes back now early. 7 receptions on the season. You see 1 touchdown, but a very important catch in this first quarter.
So Moss makes the catch. Patterson 3 of 3 passing, 23 yards. Now in West Virginia territory, Paul Shara motions to the left. Patterson going to throw it again. Deep ball, man there, and he overthrows him. Rice Moss had big separation from the secondary, and Perry Patterson got too much on that one.
Boy, if you ever want to have one back as a quarterback, it's the guy that's streaking down the middle of the field in the seam. Rice Moss just made a big play. Now you can see the level here of West Virginia. Nobody retreats back, and that's why the Orange is able to get by the defensive secondary. Rice Moss had at least 2 or 3 steps on the nearest Mountaineer defender.
Talking to Greg Robinson this week, he says, you know what, I think we can get something on their corners. So we'll see what happens here as they continue to go through the ground at Brinkley. Not so much doing there. Brinkley on the carry, sophomore from Philadelphia's West Philly High School. Loss of a yard. Greg Robinson said, looking at their corners, I think we can run by this. So it'll be interesting to see how often they test that. And look at those numbers. They give up almost 4 bills a game in the last 2 weeks. Syracuse defensively has given up 925 yards.
Well, right now, Syracuse doing a great job of keeping that Mountaineer offense on the sidelines. They just need to convert here on 3rd and long.
2 for 2 on 3rd down so far today for the Orange. Patterson, pretty good protection. Looking, nobody home. Boy, he's holding the ball a long time. Got a man wide open. Touchdown Syracuse. Wow, he got it to Mike Williams. Perry Patterson bought a lot of time. Connects for 47 yards, and the Orange break out 6-0.
Dave, we talked about playing up to the level of Perry Patterson in the open, that you had to rise to the occasion, and that's exactly what Greg Robinson's team did on that first drive. You saw Rice Moss climb the ladder, keep the drive alive, and that time the young freshman, he got his first collegiate touchdown last week against the Panthers. Now he goes 47 yards for his second touchdown of the young season.
Give Patterson all kinds of credit for staying alive. Give the O-line credit. A reshuffled offensive line as we look at Patrick Shadle from Morgantown High School. Wanted to come here, didn't have a scholarship available, so they didn't take him. And Richie Rodriguez wanted somebody who could kick immediately. But an exuberant Perry Patterson kept that play alive. 11 plays and 80 yards and 624, and the Orange, surprisingly, break out on top on number 5, West Virginia.
Sidelines and score on their first drive.
Carney with the kick, and he booms one into the end zone. And they thought about bringing it out, but he just right out Darius Renaud.
Great block that sets it up right here. Watch the block The sophomore tailback, Curtis Brinkley, steps up, but then to keep the play alive, Perry Patterson wanted to throw it shorter, and then he found his receiver, his freshman, Mike Williams, standing about the 3-yard line saying, Perry, I'm all alone, just get it out here. And that's sometimes the toughest throw to make, but Mike Williams looks the football in, secures the catch, and secures the 7-0 lead.
For you old-timers, that looked like Jimmy Orr in the Super Bowl III against the Jets was wide open, and Earl Morrall never saw him on a flea flicker. Here's West Virginia starting at its own 20, down for the first time this season. Slayton slowed up in there and then gang tackled, gain of 2. A.J. Brown, who moves over to linebacker from safety, makes the tackle. Patrick White didn't start until middle portions of last year. Very efficient in terms of running the ball. Big question nationally, can he throw the ball successfully over a significant part of time? Well, they haven't had to because this is a great running team. Second down play from the 23. This is where he's dangerous. Open space. Picks up about 5 to the 26-yard line. Here's a look at the performers on the offense. You've met Slayton and Schmidt. Gonzalez, they like him. Miles is a game breaker, and ditto Darius Miles. Great speed on the edge there. Outstanding offensive line led by the All-American Dan Moses. He and Sheffield are 2 big, tough guys on that O-line. Third down and 4 at the 26. Get it outside to the 32-yard line. That's a first down for West Virginia. Nice throw. They get it to Darius Renaud. That's his 16th catch as we look at the D-line. These are the guys that are racking up a lot of sacks coming in, led by Jameel McLean. The linebackers, a couple of changes. A.J. Brown moves from the secondary. K.J. Smith and Luke Kane. Kane moves over, replacing Jerry Mackey. And in that secondary, Joe Fields, a former quarterback. And here's West Virginia right back. And this one, they go to the house. Nobody's going to get him. Touchdown, West Virginia. Big run for the Mountaineers of 69 yards. They get it to Patrick White. Takes it all the way in. The quarterback, we said he was one of the best runners in the country. So the response by West Virginia is swift. Longest play from scrimmage this season for the Mountaineers.
69 yards goes the quarterback, Patrick White. Last week he had 76 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, so he's closing in on his effort on the first or second run of the game for that quarterback.
Tie ball game with 6:49 to go. 4 plays, 80 yards, and a $147, and the Mountaineers are right back at 7. Football here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Number 5, West Virginia, right back in this game on a 69-yard run by Patrick White. 8th consecutive game with a touchdown on their first drive for the Mountaineers, and they do it so swift. 4 plays, 80 yards, and 147.
That's the problem if you're facing this West Virginia offense. They can score. It doesn't take them very long. And they usually do it on their first drive, as you said, Dave. 8 times in a row they've scored on that opening drive dating back to last year. They're just so dangerous offensively.
McAfee booms another one. This one has a chance and will be returned. Brinkley's got it. 25 and a couple of good licks. Good coverage by the Mountaineers on 20-yard return.
There's only a couple ways you can defend this freeze option, and sometimes you get the flow way down. You can see the big gashing lanes to the right side that Patrick White is able to just bounce to the outside because Jameel McLean, the defensive end, is way down here. He's got his nose in the backfield. Rich Rodriguez says that his quarterback, Patrick White, is as good as anybody he's had in his decision-making. That time, he made a great decision.
Got some serious speed, too, once he got to the edge. From the 26, 1st and 10 for the Orange. It's Tim Lane in motion. Got a work-off tackle. Good persistence in there by DeLon Carter. He was brilliant 2 weeks ago with a 4-touchdown performance at home and a win against Wyoming. Eric Wicks on the tackle. Gain of 7. For the Mountaineers, very consistent Under Rich Rodriguez and company this year, that's why they're number 5 in the country. Where do you think they're going to be ranked based on what happens today, obviously, John, but with the BCS, this being the BCS first weekend, it comes out tomorrow.
Well, with the strength of schedule, it'll probably be lower than many Mountaineer fans would like them to be.
Carter crossed the 35 to the 36, close to a first down. West Virginia's strength of schedule, number 99 in the country. Boo McLean made the tackle.
And that's not saying that they're not a quality team and they don't deserve to be up in the top 4 or their top 3 or their top 5, but just that's going to happen, and that's probably some of the problem that goes into ranking people in the beginning of the season and how far you have to go to get to number 1.
We'll bring out the chain game for measurement. John McDade, the referee. Ron Kumiega is the umpire. Troy Gray is the linesman. Line judge is Hugh Campbell. Side judge is Brian Platt. Field judge is Robert Solikowski. The back judge is Keith Washington. Good Big East crew.
I think Greg Robinson offensively, he still has to stay aggressive. But West Virginia was able to answer. They have to stay aggressive, and they have to keep Perry Patterson move in the pocket, but not only run the football, but throw it to the tight end, take a shot downfield. They believe they can run by West Virginia. They have to continue to keep the pressure on this defense.
Mike Williams, a guy they like. Perry Patterson told us last week he's a basketball player playing football. He can go up and get it. He looks for Williams, nothing there. Williams down the field, he broke it off. Perry thought he was going to continue to go deep, and an incomplete on that play. Pretty good coverage over there.
And Perry Patterson wants to, Dave, he wants to talk to his freshman wide receiver because he crossed him up a little bit. Perry Patterson just gets flushed a little bit, thought he was going to go on a takeoff, and then decided to stop, and that could have been an easy pick in that defensive secondary for the Mountaineers. That ball luckily was thrown out of bounds.
That's inexperience there, right? Because wouldn't you tell your receiver normally, hey, just keep going, I'll find it.
Yeah.
Perry Patterson could throw the ball, throw it out of the building.
And especially at Mike Williams, 6'2", he can climb the ladder as he's proven already this game.
Second down and 10 at the 36. Blitz coming. Patterson didn't get rid of it. Blitz takes him down inside the 30. Jay Henry, the academic All-American. Perry Patterson saying, hey, what happened? 7 yards on the loss.
Just pressure right in the face of Perry Patterson. Jay Henry comes right up the middle. No one really picks him up. A free blitzer. Patterson does a good job initially of trying to sidestep Henry, but Henry hangs on for the sack.
3rd and 17 at the 29 coming up. 7-7 ball game. Early offensive excitement here. Perry Patterson 47 yards to Mike Williams. West Virginia responds immediately with a 69-yard run by Patrick White. Big ball downfield, caught, first down Syracuse, West Virginia territory at the 49-yard line. He got it to Mike Williams again for 22 yards. Quentin Andrews on the coverage for the Mountaineers. Perry Patterson coming out ripping.
That's a big-time throw by Perry Patterson. Just a rocket shot off the left side. Perfect timing and great anticipation by Perry Patterson of letting the football go before the receiver was out of his break, and then Mike Williams goes up and attacks the football. Great timing on the pass offense by the Orange.
4 for 4 on 3rd down, and just what Patterson said, a basketball player going up making plays. There's Moss going in motion on the ground with Carter for about 3 or 4. Sets up a very friendly second down situation. Keelan Dykes, the defensive end, makes the play.
I like the way the Orange running backs are hitting the hole aggressively. They're doing a good job. There's not a lot of running room, but DeLone Carter that time, he's known as the cutback runner of the two. Curtis Brinkley more the slasher. DeLone Carter will get through that hole, and he has a tendency to cut that football back.
John, let's remind everybody, too, that Syracuse is without their best big play guy, Taj Smith. Broke a collarbone back on the 23rd of September. He was a guy that was 19 yards per catch. Second down and 6 at the 45. They run a toss play and swarmed under very nicely. Well covered by West Virginia. No gain on that play with DeLone Carter being tackled by Bobby Hathaway. Gorgeous day here for football, everybody. Glad you could join us here at Mountaineer Field, Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm Dave Sims with John Congemi and Sarah Kustok. Big offense early on here. Not by just West Virginia, also by the Syracuse Orange. Scores tied at 7. Plenty of time left here in the first quarter. Now Perry Patterson going to burn a timeout. It's first to 3. And Greg Robinson, Brian White and company will chat things over. 2:48 to go here in the first quarter. Perry Patterson with the touchdown to his credit. He's got a good rhythm going.
Dave, he's taking control of this football game, and that's what he needs to do. The senior quarterback playing at the highest level he's played in his career.
Off to a good start, converting on 3rd down. 4 for 4 for the Orange. Perry Patterson told us last week he's been watching a lot of tape of Matt Leinart. Leinert's last 2 years at Syracuse, Southern Cal. And a poise he's showing, except for that pass. That's not a good throw, but he has been, as you mentioned, John, he's been in control. Incomplete as they tried to get it to Tommy Farron. First time they don't convert on a 4th down.
And you have to give credit to the Mountaineers. That front 7 that time put a lot of pressure on Patterson. Early in this game, he's been able to use his legs and his feet to elude pressure, get around it, and get rid of the football. That time, he was under duress and just really threw it away.
Vaughn Rivers, who returned a punt 50 yards for a touchdown, the final score in last week's win at Mississippi State, 42-14. Going to get this punt from Brendan Carney. Carney gets one up in the air, hangs it nicely inside the 6 into the end zone. 4.2 seconds on the hang time, a 45-yard punt. It nets 25. So West Virginia will put it in play from its own 20-yard line. Richie Rodriguez couldn't be more comfortable. A West Virginia guy, went to school here, was a walk-on for Don Nalen. He replaced Don Nalen as coach, has succeeded him. Coach Nalen's here. Look at the numbers. He's put up 3 consecutive Big East titles and 2-time Coach of the Year in the Big East.
He's done a terrific job, and he gets the right kids to play in his system. They love to play at a fast tempo, and when they're playing fast, they're usually winning football games.
White gives to Slayton. Oh, good defensive play by Syracuse. Chris Thorner in there, no gain. The D tackle making a play. Well done.
Big, strong defensive tackle. Chris Thorner, 6'4", 299 pounds. The senior does a great job of creating a stalemate right on the inside. And then he just reaches that hand outside for the tackle.
Toss play coming to the near side. Slayton strung it out. Again, a fine defensive play. Now, KJ Smith should get a big assist. Jameel McClain makes the tackle, but KJ blew up the interference. Number 8, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, made the run, bounce to the outside, and Calvin Smith is a big part of this defense, and Jameel McClain does a great job of running it down, but that's the guy in the middle with space. He allows McClain to get to that outside and get the tackle.
3rd down and 10 from the 20. Quiet crowd here as White backs to throw. Got a man down there, through his hands, incomplete at the 35-yard line. And he tried to get it in. Joe Fields covering down there. And they tried to get that into Tito Gonzalez.
They may come back to that play later because Darius Reynard was coming in on the under, wide open. It looked like he could have got out to the back end, but White decides to try to push it in the hole down the field and threw it a little bit high and outside.
Bruce Williams back to get the punt from Kozlowski. First time we've seen Scott, is second in the conference, and Joe Radigan. Sailor, far side. Good roll inside the 40. It's a low line drive, only in the air for 3.1 seconds, but it covers 44 yards. Well, West Virginia does. They like to do things a little bit differently in their punt game.
And they'll go to the outside and really roll punt, and they do a great job. Historically, the last few years, they've done a good job of rolling outside and punting on the run, and Kozlowski does a nice job of getting that out there, 44 yards for the Mountaineers, and really not great field position, but decent field position for the Orange.
Phil Brady made a heck of a rep here at West Virginia the last few years. Hero in the Sugar Bowl. Orange taking over, half roll. Patterson in trouble, looking for deep ball. Got a man running free and broken up at the final second. Should have been an INT for Quentin Andrews. He already has 2 on the season. Big hitter out of Opelika, Florida. Antonio Lewis, second team all-performer, breaking that play up. There is number 6. He's got 2 picks this year.
Patterson wanted to go deep to the field. He does a good job again of eluding pressure, but there's a safety coming from the edge off off the hash to the sideline. That ball just hangs up a little bit too long, and a good break on the football by Antonio Lewis. Should have been a pick. He has 2 on the season.
Second down play from the 36. Farron in motion. I think that's going to be
somebody had to move.
Yeah, somebody, I think, the right side of the O-line.
He had plenty of time on the 25-second clock.
Full start. Number 64 offense. 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Remains down.
Corey Shavers, the left tackle, sophomore out of Janesville, New York. All-state first-teamer in high school.
Dave, this is the problem they ran into last week against Pittsburgh. They started killing themselves with holding penalties, procedure penalties, different things that would start them at 1st and 15, 2nd and 20. And Greg Robertson really addressed that situation on the offensive line by moving guys around and getting some different players in to start the game.
Eugene Newsom out at right tackle. They moved Carol Madison over from left guard. Greg last week said, hey, we kept throwing a wet blanket over ourselves. Quick hitter for about 5 with Brinkley. But Brinkley, Big East best in 2006 with the 4 touchdowns, most points, most TDs, most rushing TDs.
And Brinkley's more of the slasher, and he's an excellent acceleration through the hole. And that's what they need to do. Offensive comparison today, 21 plays already for the Orange for 114 yards. The Mountaineers offensively have only been on the field 7 times.
Should be the last play, first quarter. It's a big one, 3rd and long for the Orange. Blitz, Sean Blitz comes. Patterson hangs, steps up, eludes, holds on to it. And I tell you what, the big thing today, John, and you can appreciate this as a quarterback, his receivers are doing a bad job getting separation from defenders. West Virginia's clearly faster than Syracuse.
They're doing a great job of initially covering up from the back end because Perry Patterson has to elude 2 or 3 players before he can look downfield.
First quarter in the books, and a good start in this Big East contest. The opener for West Virginia. Mike Williams, though, put a damper on it early, but Pat White counted, tied it. Of the second quarter, moments away. Number 5, West Virginia, playing host to Syracuse this afternoon.
Well, great job on that last defensive stand by Reed Williams. Watch him time the snap count right here, and he gets the penetration that really causes Perry Patterson to escape the pocket, but Williams does a great job. He's relentless. He's following the quarterback and gets in on the tackle, along with Morty Ivy and another Mountaineer defender, but a great job by Reed Williams of never stopping, keep pursuing the quarterback, and gets in on the tackle.
Vaughn Rivers deep to receive this punt from first-team All-Big East punter from last year, Brendan Kearney, 5th in the Big East as we enter today's action. His 42nd consecutive start. High snap. Not a great punt. Out of bounds. See where they mark it. And they're going to mark it at the 36-yard line. Punt only of 25 yards.
Bad wind coming from that end zone, and that was a difficult kick for Kearney to make.
That flag, I remember a few years ago, the flag of that size, the wind's got to be minimum 20 miles per hour because the flag is pretty much out stiff.
Yeah, it's blown pretty good.
Yeah, flags those size, minimum 20 miles an hour. It's going to be a factor today. From the 35, White. Owen Schmidt, first touch today, taken down at the 42-yard line by A.J. Brown. Owen Schmidt. Owen gets up, favoring his back there. Last week on a reception out of the backfield against Mississippi State, looked like he had an ankle clipped.
Well, Dave, watch how he lands. He lands very awkward on that right side, and he takes a pounding. Mountaineers only on the field for 3:37 so far. Syracuse dominating that time of possession and really dominating a little bit of the play early on.
Syracuse 7th in that category in conference play. In the conference, I should say. Slayton goes left side, big room. Far side, first down, West Virginia. Tackle in a play by Joe Fields, the former quarterback. Now the free safety gain of 16 yards by Slayton. Second team All Big East performer a year ago and Rookie of the Year.
Dave, Slayton is so explosive on the edge. He can just turn it up, and you blink your eye, and he's gone. He's into the secondary. Joe Fields comes up, the last year's backup quarterback, comes into free safety and makes the play, but Slayton is so explosive on the edge.
This game's so much different from last year. 15-7 West Virginia win. Here's White. Big room again. White trying to turn the corner. They string it out nicely. Gain to the 34-yard line. Gain of 7. Dwayne Davis, the junior strong safety out of the Bronx, New York. Number 26. Number 4 tackler in the Big East Conference.
Yeah, Dwayne Davis does a nice job along with Tenard Jackson, the cornerback for the Orange defense, on the play. But Patrick White, he's almost as explosive as Slayton. Once they get turned up on the edge, it's tough. You're very fearful to get them outside in space.
Second down and 3 at the 34.
Well, if you're West Virginia, you might want to throw it up right here on the short side of the field. Take your chances.
Looking for Miles in a post. They throw underneath and a drop. Miles was dead wide open, John, on the post. Good call. I mean, 15-yard separation.
I thought I was looking at the same thing Patrick White was looking at when he came in audible. You had press coverage to the boundary, and you've got a guy one-on-one to the outside. Patrick decided to tuck it down and go underneath, but Brad Palmer ends up dropping the football.
Think they come back to that?
Well, if they get that look again, you have to take advantages when you have zero coverage. That means nobody in the middle of the football field.
Third down and 3, 34-yard line. Little bubble screen. And they pick up the first down. Darius Renaud brought down by K.J. Smith. Gain of 6, first down, Mountaineers. Patrick White, second in pass efficiency to Tyler Palco of Pitt. How about Palco last night? They routed Central Florida 11 of 15.
He's having a great year.
Huge game next week against Rutgers. First down play, Syracuse. Looking at another bubble screen, and Renaud picks up a couple of blocks. Makes something out of it to the 21-yard line. Tony Jenkins back in the game. He makes the play, along with help from Arthur Jones, a gain of 7.
And Dave, you have to remember, Darius Renaud, he may play wide receiver. He's lined up on the outside just with that little bubble screen, but he's a high school tailback. Look at that move to the inside. Great quickness with his feet and great vision. He can feel the presence of the defender closing in. Just slips the first guy and goes on and gets another 5 or 6 yards.
Jamel McLean out. Renaud 3 catches for 18 yards. McLean out on that D-line. Looked like he made a tweaked an ankle. Here's a handoff coming near side. Slayton fumbled it, but out of bounds as he gets the ball inside the 11-yard line. Another first down for West Virginia. Luke Kane brings him down. Gain of 11.
That's just not fair, Dave. To be that fast on the short side of the field, and it looked like the Orange defender had the angle on him, but Slayton goes outside, just a little shake move, and then you're in trail position. You've got Tenard Jackson at perfect position on the corner, and Steve Slayton still gets to the outside. Great run.
Made a 90-degree cut. Terrific reads in there by Patrick White. This is not an easy offense to run, and it's got to be brutal to try
a lot
to
of room
defend
out here, Dave, to run the football or throw it.
Nothing doing there. It's Tenard Jackson. Boy, he's a hard hit from Silver Spring, Maryland, and I mean that with the greatest compliment. He is a heck of a tackler. Had a pick last year. And he's got 2 already for a couple of touchdowns this year. Out of Silver Spring, Maryland, a 6'1" senior.
Boy, if you're West Virginia offensively, the cornerbacks are playing way inside to the short side of the field. All you'd have to do is run a quick out and get him in space down here. It's an easy pitch and catch.
Tempo that West Virginia likes. Second and goal at the 10. Reads the option. White's got room at the 10, at the 5, and it'll be third and short coming up. Third and goal at the 5 coming up. Tackle made by K.J. Smith, the co-captain for the Syracuse Orange.
Good speed shown that time by both Patrick White on the fake, and then the Orange to recover. It looked like a lot of running room to the wide side of the field, but a couple guys in orange helmets there to prevent White from getting into the end zone. Third and goal.
They bring the hammer in. Owen Schmidt, the up back, with Slayton, the deep back. 3rd and 5, just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line. play action. White turns the corner, run out of bounds at about the 2-yard line by Joe Fields. Luke Kane there as well. Fans want him to go for it on 4th down this season. West Virginia's 3 for 4.
And it looks like they will. Just a little play fake. White escapes the pressure, rolls to his left. Now he's left-handed quarterback, so that's the way you want him to go. If you're the Mountaineers, it looks like they're going to come in and attempt the field goal.
So Pat McAfee, the number 4 scorer in the Big East at 8 points a game, number 2 kick scorer to Louisville's Art Carmody. 19 yards on the attempt. His first attempt career from this range. And a play clock ran out. That may help his angle action.
Yeah, probably by design.
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
So that'll back him up. That'll be a 24-yard attempt on his career. McAfee 10 of 11 from this range. He was 6 of 7 from this area last year, 4 for 4 this year. Wobbly snap put down and booted through. They shoot off the gun here, as is their tradition in West Virginia. And the Mountaineers lead for the first time today. It's 10-7, West Virginia playing here at home in Morgantown.
And they have to protect better because the Mountaineers, they will continue to bring pressure on the edge.
Joe think, hey, till you stop it, guess what? We're going to kick that right
stick
hand.
that jab in there again.
That's exactly right. Pat McAfee set the kickoff to Curtis Brinkley and Kareem Jones. Far side, Brinkley watches it sail out of the end zone. Good kick by McAfee. Great job in there.
Individual players, but you can't do that. You can't give instant field position.
From the 35, they run Carter looking for the cutback. And Eric Wicks comes in to clean up the mess. Mark Magro from right here in Morgantown, number 53, he was in on the initial attack. Yeah, last week, too many personal fouls. They had 4 personal fouls and 2, actually there were 6, but 2 of them were wiped out by penalties by Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Offsetting penalties. So they came away with 4.
Kept that Mountaineer defense on the field for much too long.
Second down play, short drop, Patterson, swing pass rather. Ooh, a horse collar tackle there. If this were the NFL, that would have been 15 yards. Eric Wicks on the tackle. Put that in the books after 2 seasons ago. Actually, for last season.
This pass almost looks like it's a lateral. It goes backwards, so you have to secure the football. The freshman Carter does so, and there's the tackle you talked about, Dave, from behind, Eric Wicks. Eric Wicks had a terrific game last week against Mississippi State. 6 total tackles. He had the interception. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, and may have hurt his hand on that previous play.
You bet. 3rd down and 3 at the 42 for Patterson and Syracuse. Blitz coming, max protect. They get the ball out, but too far for Tom Ferrin. Quarterback had to get rid of it a little bit quicker than he wanted to. Good pressure by John Holmes.
When watching West Virginia historically and this year, they love to bring pressure on 3rd down from the edge. Usually it's Eric Wicks. That time John Holmes, the sophomore from Rockledge, Florida, comes on the edge, gets in Patterson's face, and he's not able to make an accurate throw. Credit the defensive coordinator, Jeff Castile. He loves to bring pressure on 2nd and 3rd down.
Here's Carney to punt to Vaughn Rivers. Punting into a wind now. Low liner off the side of his foot. Bounces at about the 23, but it gets a good bounce. Went off a West Virginia player. And there's a big scramble down there. West Virginia sees Syracuse recover that punt. A 40-yard punt. Low line drive, only 3.2 seconds in the air. What a good bounce.
The Mountaineers trying to get away from the football, and you really don't locate it at the end, Dave, and that's a big break for the Mountaineers to get on that football. It looked like Antonio Lewis had crawled up on his back.
10-7, Mountaineers, 5th ranked this week.
Lead blocker or bruising back. He has some athletic ability in that backfield.
He was ripping up the first teamers as a member of the scout team last year. Richie Rodriguez said, I like this kid. Let's see if we can do something with him. To the edge with Slayton. 20, 25-yard line. KJ Smith brings him down with help from Dwayne Davis. Gain of 8 on that play. How about this tempo?
Well, that's when they're at their best, when they're playing at a fast tempo. And watch Slayton. He'll go inside, outside, then back to the outside, but he's always going north and south, and he never loses speed. So that's a great asset to have for a terrific back.
White under center. Slayton 7 carries for 35 yards. Big fella Smith. Ooh, there's a good collision. That's what we talked about earlier in the week. Luke Kane was there. More from Sarah on the tempo of today's game. Sarah.
Well, guys, all a part of West Virginia's plan. Coach Rodriguez wants his team to be the best condition in the country, so he makes sure to work hard with Mike Darwis, the strength and conditioning coach, to get them there.
It's a good relationship, too, that Mike has. Here's the reverse. Renaud, 30, 35, 40. Slowed down. Oh, he might have done an ankle there as he slipped down. Got it to the 48-yard line, but a big game. First down, A.J. Brown with the stop, a gain of 18 yards for Darius Renaud.
Well, Dave, we talked about the American Century game plan, about big plays. No big plays for Syracuse. They can't allow the Mountaineers to have them. Well, the Mountaineers are getting big chunks of yardage. That time on the reverse, and as you said, he may have hurt himself, a knee or an ankle on that play, but big chunks of yardage on big plays for the Mountaineer offense.
Again, Syracuse giving up 925 yards the last 2 games. Slayton, nice hole. Slayton, sideline. Maybe one man. Not going to get him. Touchdown, West Virginia. 52 yards, Steve Slayton. And it's 16-7 Mountaineers.
Dave, they are explosive. This Mountaineer bunch can score very quickly. Steve Slayton, 52-yard run, and a great decision by Patrick White. He held the football as long as he could. He said he decided to give it to Slayton on the edge, and then it's just speed and end zone for the sophomore running back.
Point after with McAfee and the special teamers. Kozlowski the hole. Kick is good. The 3 consecutive scores by the West Virginia Mountaineers, 5th ranked this week. We take a break at the 7:29 mark, second quarter. Slayton, housebound, 52 yards. See you later. 25, Syracuse 124. Far side, Brinkley. Got some room. Nice cut. Does he have the wheels? The kicker did it again. The second week in a row, Pat McAfee saves further damage. Last week he did it at Mississippi State. He outran a DB, Gesley Derville, who's on the team. And look at that, Pat McAfee getting major props on the sideline. Great job by Pat out of Plum, Pennsylvania.
And Pat McAfee comes out of nowhere for the tackle, and that's why he was so happy on the sidelines. Right now, he can't wait till tomorrow, because in that special teams film study, Coach Rodriguez will be patting him on the back again. But that last touchdown by Slayton, what a great play, and what an explosive run. Watch Calvin Smith here. It's going to be a foot race to the outside, and I can tell you right now who's going to win this foot race. Smith cannot get to the outside. Great blocking on the edge by Wes Lyons.
Can Syracuse respond? Great field position after a 37-yard return. Nice run off the left tackle. Pretty good job by Brinkley on the carry. Warren Young on the stop. Let's go back to McAfee for a second. Most times, football players would not give a kicker the time of day. Meanwhile, guys were coming from all areas of the bench. Dude, great play. Dude, my man, what's up?
I bet he didn't know half the guys' names that were coming up patting him on the back. It's the first time he's seen them all year.
How great is that? It's like a recent new coif.
Yeah. He's got the California sunshine look going.
Out of Plum, Pennsylvania. Brinkley motions to the right. Syracuse needs some answers. Blitz shown. They run straight at it. Nice play. First down, Syracuse. Ooh, good tackle. They run straight up the middle with Paul Sciarra. Andrews and Wicks with the tackle. A gain of 7.
Good aggressive running that time by the Orange. Paul Sciarra goes right up the middle. Good block at the point of attack by the center, Justin Houghton. Probably the leader of that offensive line. He does a great job of getting some movement from Craig Wilson. But Dave, right now, 1st and 10, you just crossed the 50-yard line. I want to see Syracuse take a shot down the field, try to make something happen right away.
Rice Moss and Tim Lane, top of your screen. No Mike Williams. Haven't seen him since he scored that first touchdown. Here's Patterson. They're going to keep it on the ground. And Brinkley, Jay Henry,
on the carry.
Boo McLee, along with Antonio Lewis, who was the first one to get there. Lewis, second-team All Big East performer last year as a kick and punt returner.
Defensively, West Virginia plays with terrific speed. You know about their offensive pace, but the scheme that Jeff Castile has in this 3-3-5 defense allows the guys with similar body types to play at a fast pace. You have guys that can run sideline to sideline. All the linebackers run terrifically. The cornerbacks, the free safety, the strong safety, they all get to the ball, and that's because of the scheme.
Sciarra motions as Syracuse 0 for its last 3 after a 4-for-4 start on 3rd down. Man wide open, far side, complete. First down, Syracuse. Perry Patterson finds Mike Williams this time. Big gain inside the 20-yard line. Eric Wicks on the tackle. Perry Patterson's poise today has been outstanding. A gain of 30 yards.
And I believe the Orange have found a big play wide receiver in Mike Williams, the freshman, coming up huge. And you can't say enough about Perry Patterson. Perry Patterson is outside the hash, outside the left hash, and Mike Williams is all the way over at the 20-yard line. Just to find him is remarkable. So he bought enough time to find his big play wide receiver.
Patterson 7 for 12, 126 and a touchdown as Tom Thurn resets. 1st and 10, Orange. Give it to Carter. A little bit of a crack. Good effort. Sideline. 8-yard pickup. So Syracuse showing some moxie here as Quentin Andrews gets the stop, but Syracuse showing a little fight there.
Yeah, you know, and that's the attitude of their head coach. They've shown him all week long. Greg Robinson has been on his team. He didn't like the way they performed last week. In spots he did, but overall too many big plays. And there's an effort by a freshman, DeLone Carter, who just pushes and surges to the short side of the field.
Touchdown is huge here as they're inside the 10 at the 8.
You look for a tight end in this situation, Dave. They've caught a lot of balls inside the 20-yard line.
Good call, Tommy Thurn, outstanding receiver. That's Lane in motion. 2nd and 2 from the 8. Carter gets the call, finds a crack. First down inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. Nice run behind Carroll Madison and Ryan Durand on the right side. Gain of 5. Tackle made by Antonio Lewis. 1st and goal, Syracuse.
Good surge by the offensive line that time by the Orange. Ryan Durand on that right side doing an excellent job. Carroll Madison going from left guard to right tackle. They won the battle at the line of scrimmage. Now they're knocking at the door inside the 5 at the 3.
John, when was the last time we saw a suck it up, get it done performance by a Syracuse offense?
You're seeing it today.
Farron in motion. 1st and goal, 3-yard line. Carter, and the play gets blown dead. Is this the proverbial wet blanket that Greg Robinson talked about last week about last week's performance after they have some fine plays?
False start. Number 80 for offense.
That's a killer.
5-yard penalty. Makes first down.
Senior Brandon Darlington called for the false start. This quarter, they have got to score here. With the limited possessions you get anymore in college football, this game's flying by. Coming up on 4 minutes to go, and Syracuse needs this score to make it a 3-point game.
Yeah, it's not one of those possessions you can settle for 3. You want to have 7 because right now the Orange defense cannot stop the offense of West Virginia.
Do you run something wide side left?
I want to see play action and try to get to the tight end.
Farron here's Farron now motioning back to the short side. Keep it on the ground. Pretty good block. Carter finds a cutback lane to the 2-yard line. So Carter brought down by Keelan Dykes. 5 yards on the gain. All right, is this now your play action?
I don't know. I was looking for it on that last play. But they've done a good job. You have to credit the offensive coordinator, Brian White. He feels like they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. You see a lot of guys in blue jerseys standing up and going backwards. That means the orange offensive line is doing a good job of winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. And if you feel that on the field and on the sidelines, you stick with the run and you try to punish the Mountaineers up front.
It's a remade offensive line. 8th play of a drive that started back at the 40. Patterson, here's the play fake. Patterson throws. Oh, incomplete. Tried to get it to Tim Lane. Couldn't come up with the catch. Covering on the play is Antonio Lewis.
Well, you have to make that play. I mean, that's a great call in that situation. It looked like Patterson put it in the right spot.
Only his guy could catch it, right?
Yeah, had it right out in front of him. Nice low pass. You just cradle the football. I mean, that's easy 6.
Hands catch.
You just go down and get the football, and you've got a 3-point ball game.
Tried to catch it with his forearms instead of his hands. Big play here. 3rd and goal at the 3 for the Orange, trying to get back in this game against number 5 West Virginia. The deep back is Carter. Play fake, nicely done. Patterson, can he get in? He's 238 pounds and he scores! Touchdown, Syracuse! Harry Patterson showing all kinds of poise. A 3-yard run, and it's 17-13 West Virginia.
Perry Patterson may have had his best performance last week, but I love what he's doing to this Mountaineer defense today. He is finding ways to win this football game and keep his team in the ball game early, and that's the attitude that Greg Robinson has instilled in this football team this week.
That 30-yard cross-the-field pass to Mike Williams, as big a play as Syracuse has had all year. Morgantown local. Here's Shadle for the point after. It is good. Here's Kearney. High kick, returnable. 2-yard line, Renaud. 20, nice crack, 25. 27-yard line. Brings it back there, return of 26 yards. As we take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. And West Virginia and Louisville, number 5 and 7, representing the Big East Conference. Good ball clubs there. Do you like Florida or Southern Cal at that number 2 spot?
I like Southern Cal. They really haven't done anything, but Florida's on a roll. The schedule that they're playing, and they've got Auburn later tonight. Is that correct, Dave?
That's correct.
Yeah.
White to throw. Off the chest plate of Brendan Miles, the senior from Goochland, Virginia. How about West Virginia? On first down plays, John, prior to that one, they'd run up 171 yards.
Ouch.
I mean, that's a very esoteric stat, but I like it because they executed as well and better than anybody in the country. It's unbelievable.
Do a great job on first down. They're not bad on 2nd and 3rd down either.
Yeah. White coming out shotgun here. Now he's going to run it. Oh, there was a missed tackle. And White's able to pick up yardage to the 30-yard line. 3 yards on that pickup. Clock winding down at 2:22 to go. Tony Jenkins with the tackle. 2 timeouts remaining for Syracuse, 3 for West Virginia, and that's what the Mountaineers have done this season.
Yeah, we talked about first down, but look at 2nd and 3rd down. I mean, almost 10 yards on 2nd and 3rd down. This Mountaineer team, the offense especially, have to stay on the football field. 3
wide to White's left. Quick pop, good catch. First down, West Virginia. Got it to the 38-yard line. KJ Smith on the tackle as they get it to Darius Renaud, a gain of 8. So Renaud trying to get it to the former high school tailback as they continue to run at 1:54 to go.
And the pace is starting to get a little quicker offensively, Dave.
Renaud, 4 catches, 26 yards. Look at White. Look at this. Good fake. First down again. 50-yard line. Patrick White racking up some more yardage. Dwayne Davis, the tackle with help from McLean. Gain of 12. Clock runs with, now stopped as they'll set it momentarily with 1:40 to go.
White makes great decisions after the snap of the football. That's when he makes his best decision as a quarterback.
Feel a post pattern, John. I feel a post pattern.
They've got man coverage across the board.
Slayton Well defense. Oh, that's a big time tackle. That is major league, my man. That is a heck of a hit. Drive the hips, lift, and get him down. Joe Fields. That's why Greg Robinson says he will play on Sundays.
He goes down at the ankles and just rises up, and that doesn't happen too much to number 10, Steve Slayton. We talked about Joe Fields, the former quarterback, now free safety for the Orange.
20 years from now, Joe Fields is going to call Steve and say, yo, my man, remember that? Slayton gets a touch again, takes another big hit.
Patrick Wright going to Reynard on a post pass.
Slot man, left side, throw it, nicely done. Far side, first down, 35-yard line. And they got it to Tito Gonzalez for 10 yards. He beat A.J. Brown.
Yeah, the sophomore out of Tampa now goes to the wide side of the field.
First catch today by Gonzalez.
Good decision, quick decision by White to get the football outside.
Double wides, both sides for White. Syracuse rushes 4. White tries to take it up the middle. Does so for about 3 yards. And they have to call a timeout with 20. Syracuse rushes 4. White throws, should have been intercepted right in the hands of Dwayne Davis.
For 21.
And as the DB coach says, that's why you're on this side of the ball. Son.
Yeah, but you give West Virginia another opportunity. At worst, if he catches the football and falls down, you go to the house down 3 points. Now you come back and you just give this potent offense another opportunity on third down to put it in the end zone.
Third down and 7 at the 31. Slayton far side. First down, West Virginia. Run out of bounds by Joe Fields. Clock stops with 16:2 left.
First down, West Virginia.
Good looking drive.
Well, Dave,
That started back at the 27-yard line.
you can still afford to run the football because you have one timeout left, 16.2 left to go, but you can still run the football if you wish with a quarterback draw, but you want to see them push the football to the short side of the field with Reynard one-on-one.
Come wide, blitz coming. Throw it short and taken down immediately is Gonzalez. Brown covered. Clock running at 9. They got to burn a timeout here, and they find a penalty flag on the play as well.
Well, they're going to get a gift with a penalty, but it's a personal foul.
76 offense. 15-yard penalty.
That they're going to try to do a long throw. Here's White. Steps up. Throws. Got a man down there. No, sir. Incomplete. Reynard looked like he pulled up just a little bit short. Joe Fields covering on the play on that post pattern. Try to get it to Reynard, the 5'10 junior from Luling, Louisiana.
Well, Joe Fields does a nice job of just staying at home. He was positioned well with the 2 deep on the hash. They try a double move with the outside receiver breaking to the corner and then trying to get back to the post, but the ball was well overthrown, and wisely so, because 3 Orange defenders were right there at the goal line.
They get a pass interference call. West Virginia would get one more play here. 3.4 seconds to go. They send out 5 receivers. White throws a little bit too long, and it's intercepted down there. And a nice job by Nick Chestnut, and that'll do it for the first 30 minutes here in Morgantown.
26.
A surprise here at home. Morgantown, West Virginia, the site. Big East football this afternoon. The 5th-ranked Mountaineers of West Virginia. They're in a ball game against the Syracuse Orange, trying to win its first game, won the first conference game for Greg Robinson, who's 4-13 in his season plus up in central New York. Coach Rodriguez standing by with Sarah Kutak.
Coach, biggest challenge so far this first half?
Well, we got to do better on our third down defense. We're letting them control the ball a little bit, and got to get our offense in a rhythm, getting the ball back some for our offensive guys to work.
Has anything Syracuse done surprise you so far?
No, we knew they were going to throw the ball, try to control the game offensively, and they've done a nice job. They've tackled well, and we have not tackled well. We got to get better.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Rich. So Rich not satisfied with his tackling. Nothing to quibble about here with Steve Slayton. Mountaineers do have a 3-point lead.
It's a big problem last week against Mississippi State and now today against the Orange.
See how windy it is? They had to hold the ball up. That with the win. Here's Renaud from about 4 yards deep. Right side finds a hole against the grain. And it's a good thing there's a tackle there at the 22-yard line. It's a penalty flag on the far side. Tackle made by Jamar Atkinson. A return of 27 yards by Renaud. Referee today is John McDade. So another penalty against the Mountaineers.
During the return, holding, number 56, return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
They get an Andy Emery, backup junior linebackers. We take a look now at the Big East leaders, brought to you by Hyundai. And rushing, we've got some outstanding performer. How about LaRod Stevens-Howling breaking through last week, 221. Big numbers last night. Rice, Slayton, Stevens-Howling, and Terry Collins.
I've been impressed watching on TV Ray Rice.
Yeah. He's got third and fourth effort. Here's Patrick White going to keep it. Same play scored on it. Breaks big again. First down, 31-yard line. Nice run brought down by Joe Fields. Gain of 19. Boy, I think we'll see that even more.
Yeah.
They stop it.
Show it to me again until they can stop the running of Patrick White on the edge. Great decision again after the snap of the football.
First down play. 8 carries for a $121 for Patrick White. Conventional setup this time. They go to Slayton for about 4. Jamel McLean on the tackle with help from Atkinson.
You know, offensively, Dave, for the Mountaineers, they do a great job of finding out what the defense is trying to do, and then they have great answers. And they answer usually with speed.
That they have. White. Nice throw. First down, Mountaineers. 45-yard line of Syracuse. Brendan Miles with the catch for 20. Terrell Lemon brings him down. This fast break offense is really something.
Yeah, and it's all set up by the play action. You can only defend it one of 2 ways. Try to put pressure on the pocket, and then you get burned so easily. You have to stay at home if you're on the edge to defend Patrick White by getting the corner. Throwing the football 9 of 15 for 70 yards. Good job. Very good job protecting it.
Slayton on a sweep. Inside the 40 to the 39. Brought down by Tony Jenkins with Lee Williams' help. You can just feel it, the tension that this offense builds. Where are they going to hit us?
Yeah.
And they can score from anywhere.
It's like baking a cake. It's a lot of White, it's a lot of Slayton, and a little bit of Reynard, and a little bit of this, and it's a great mixture, and it tastes great for Rich Rodriguez and the fans of the Mountaineers.
2nd and 5 at the Syracuse 40. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. White straight up the gut. First down. He's going home. 20, 15, 10. Put 6 on the board for West Virginia. A 40-yard run by Patrick White. And the lead goes to 23-14. And let me just say, wow, with exclamation points.
That's too easy, Dave. It just looks too easy for Patrick White to have all that running room to get up on the inside. Another big play that's allowed by the Orange defense. 40 yards goes Patrick White. And I think they had a good communication in the locker room at halftime. The Mountaineers up front did a great job of providing running room for Slayton and White on that drive.
How much paint's left on the wall in that locker room? McAfee. McAfee point after. How about Patrick White? 10 carries, a $164. He's got 2 touchdowns.
Well, it just looked too easy on that drive. Patrick White did an excellent job of using his play action, sticking the football in, and then taking it. Great block on the edge on that play by Jake Figner, who just kicks on the outside of the defensive end, and Patrick White walks into the end zone.
That's remarkable. A 5-play drive, 88 yards and 203 to open the 3rd quarter. Can you say statement?
Yeah, Figner did a great job on Calvin Smith, allowing Patrick White to slip inside of the block and then go 40 untouched.
Boy, critics around the country can say, they don't throw the ball, whatever.
They don't have to.
And your point would be what?
Yeah.
Right.
If I have to throw it, I mean, they're very capable of throwing it, but when you have 10 rushes for 164 by your quarterback, and that's not even talking about the Heisman Trophy candidate Steve Slayton and his impact on the game. And they've got competent receivers on the outside. Raynard does a great job of getting in and out of routes. Bolden's on the outside. Miles is on the outside. They still got Owen Schmidt in the back there. The offensive line is getting better. They have a great center in Dan Moses. So they've got a lot of weapons offensively.
Pat McAfee going to be kicking into the wind. Brinkley and Jones deep to receive for Syracuse. Someone got knocked down. And it's going to be Jones looking for a little crack. Does well to get to the 25, maybe 27-yard line. Return to 24 yards. So now the statement Syracuse has to make right now. All right, now let's take a look at the Suzuki College way of life, and we focus on Jay Henry, a brilliant student going for his second degree. He's got a 4.0 in finance, National Honor Society. Already has his pursuing a second degree in accounting and a 3-time all-conference academic all-star. Barry Patterson has been very solid today for the Syracuse Orange. Down a 10-point hole right now. Lane in motion. Breaks nicely for Brinkley for about 6. 33-yard line. James Ingram brings him down.
Great spin move by Curtis Brinkley. Watch the spin move right there on the inside of the hole. He has great acceleration, good penetration by the Mountaineers, but Brinkley was able to have the answer on the cutback.
Just joining us, there were a lot of receivers running free. And Barry Patterson was able to keep plays alive in the first half. They did have a lot of pressure on him as well, but he can throw the long ball, made some plays. Brinkley, that's a heck of a run there. Close to a first down, about a foot short. Tackled in there by Pat Liebig, the junior nose tackle.
2 tough runs in a row by Curtis Brinkley. That time, you time up the snap count perfectly, does Jay Henry. The linebacker we were talking about a few minutes ago, but just doesn't wrap up, and the sophomore is able to elude him in the backfield and then get close to moving the chains. It's going to be a 3rd and a short 1 for the Orange.
5 for 8 on 3rd down conversions today. That's a very high percentage. West Virginia came in with big concerns today in West Virginia with this young crew. Big one here, 3rd and short. Good effort inside. Ingram with the tackle, but a first down gain by Syracuse. They run it with Brinkley. So Brinkley, their top rusher, coming in with 353 yards, almost 5 yards per carry.
Well, a lot of fist fights at the line of scrimmage right here, and a lot of stalemates. Good job there by the double team of Syracuse that time. Unfortunately, the runner was well inside of that block, but they still have enough yards for the first down.
That was Boo McClee, first team All Big East performer, 43. Boy, he got abused in there. 1st and 10. Patterson play fake, semi-roll. And oh my goodness, another drop. Perry Patterson can't catch a break. Either guys don't get open or he hits them dead in the hands and they drop it. Well, that happened 3 drops last week.
We talked about it last week. He had 3 drops and he was 20 of 29 last week against the Panthers for 225. And on that one, it looked like it was Tom Farron out on the outside, a sure-handed receiver or tight end that drops the football. Patterson does a good job of thinking about going deep, and he just take it for granted. The ball gets into the body and beats up the tight end, and that doesn't usually happen to Tom Farron.
Farron had a fumble a week ago, much to the dismay of Greg Robinson. 2nd down and 10 at the 37. Orange in a 10-point hole. On the corner blitz. Nice job to keep it alive. This is Carter fighting his way into West Virginia territory to the 47-yard line. John Holmes with the tackle, 16 yards in the run, and we went to halftime with Sarah Kustok talking to Rich Rodriguez. His huge concern, the poor tackling, and it's in evidence again.
And it didn't happen on that play. Great 2nd and 3rd effort by the Orange running back on that particular play, and you can see the Mountaineers very frustrated on defense, but a great run by Carter, the peak cool under pressure. runner on that play. 2, 3, 4 arm tackles. He's able to elude and move the chains and get on the Mountaineer side of the 50-yard line.
It's the kind of play that can get an offensive unit energized. Let's see if they capitalize. 1st and 10 at the Mountaineer 47. Penalty flag. Let's see what happens.
Prior to the snap, false start, 59 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Carroll Madison now playing at right tackle. 3rd false start today by the Syracuse Orange. And there's that wet blanket again that Greg Robinson told us about in our conversation in the middle of the week. We do a lot of good things and then we kill ourselves.
They've done a nice job today staying out of these situations. 1st and 15, 1st and 20. But in a game now that you're down 10 points, you need as many positive plays and positive yards as you can. You see the penalties there. Only 3 for Syracuse for 15 yards.
1st and 15 at the 48. Decent protection. Patterson fires. Got a man on an out. Ran the proper distance. Catch. 1st down Syracuse. Far side. And they got the ball to Timmy Lane. 16 on the pickup. Vaughn Rivers with the tackle.
Nice protection that time by the Orange offensive line and backs, giving Perry Patterson plenty of time to step up because that was a long route. Long throw by Patterson. He's been very accurate throwing the football down the field, Dave.
Great job. I'll tell you what, he doesn't get happy feet. He's hanging in there.
No, he's got quick and good feet.
Yep.
The footwork has improved vastly last year to this year.
Oh, it's almost to the point of, I mean, no comparison. Here comes a blitz. They run against it, and another penalty, and I bet it's a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 76 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
All 4 penalties for Syracuse have been false starts. They got Mike Sklarowski this time, the senior from Plains, Pennsylvania. Clock running here in the 3rd quarter. I think the West Virginia fans are stunned. They saw that everything that
Well, they just overcame this penalty the last couple of plays. Let's see what they can do on 1st and 15.
opinions on this game didn't vary too much. It was West Virginia big, and a nice rodeo tackle on the far side against Carter by Antonio Lewis out of Waldorf, Maryland, 5'10" junior. Well, it's the rhythm that Brian White seems to be going with here. Try to run, try to run, try to run, then come up top.
Yeah, I think he's done a nice job mixing it up, and you have to give credit to Perry Patterson as well, because he was under pressure the first half, and he used his footwork to get out of the pressure and make positive plays. But while all this is happening, the Mountaineer offense is on the sidelines, and they have to be able to cash in while they have the Orange offense out on the field.
With 6, Mike Williams, bottom of your screen. He's been the go-to guy. Rice Moss at the top. Carter, the setback. Blitz coming. Pump fake, and Patterson tries to get away. Can't. Successful blitz by West Virginia. A good operation. Keelan Dykes gets in there. That's the 2nd sack of Perry Patterson this afternoon.
Patterson goes back to throw the football. He's big and strong, but you can't do anything about it when the nose guard gets a hold of you. He's being hog-collared from behind, but Keelan Dykes, the junior out of Youngstown, Ohio, gets to the quarterback and gets to him with authority.
First sack by Dykes. Huge play here. 3rd down and 18 from the West Virginia 44. Down 10 for Syracuse.
They look for Mike Williams in this situation for a big play.
He's got time. Patterson gonna run. He's not gonna get there. He got taken down from behind. Boo McLee there with help from Craig Wilson. So nobody could get open, and Patterson had to take it down and try to get what he could. Bring on the punter, Brandon Carney. Vaughn Rivers. 2nd in the Big East. The Randolph of South Florida in punt returns. 4th punt today by Carney from his own 45. 5th in the Big East in punting. Hit this one too well. in the middle of the end zone. 40 yards on a punt, a net of 20. So Perry Patterson couldn't generate any points on that possession by the Orange. Good defensive pressure by the Mountaineers. A heartbeat. They have 225 yards on first downs. That's 12.5 yards a crack. Slayton won't get near that average this time. Just a 2-yard pickup brought down by K.J. Smith, the middle linebacker. How about the guys, the #1 guys in your ball club, the quarterbacks? Patterson getting it done through the air. And Pat White just devastating on the ground.
Yeah, he's been explosive on the ground. A 40-yard touchdown run. He also has a 69-yard touchdown run. So this guy can get it on the edge, and he can go north and south with authority.
Syracuse got the first score of the game. Patterson 47 yards to Williams, then 3 scores by West Virginia. Syracuse got on the board the final score of the first half. And then White, third quarter score here to make it 24-14. Got it to Darius Renat, and A.J. Brown brings him down with help from Jameel McLean.
Really, this bubble screen or just a hitch pass out to the outside, almost like a sweep to Darius Reynard, who was a high school tailback, now goes to receiver and trying to make big plays on 3rd and 6.
Well, he has got some ridiculous speed.
Yes, he does.
There's a 3rd and 6 for the Mountaineers. White, nice catch. Renaud, first down, 35-yard line for the Mountaineers. Terrific hands out there. Last year he had 5 TDs, the team best. Jackson on the tackle, a gain of 11.
Well, this play goes unnoticed for Patrick White. This is not a gimme. This is a great throw by a young quarterback. He's rolling to his right side, very accurate, right on the money, wide open in the slot, and it's a good job by Darius Reynard just settling down in that zone, making his numbers shown to the quarterback, comes up, attacks the football, and move the chains for the Mountaineers.
Enough can't be said about guys, like you just said it, attacking the football with your hands. Look at this, to the 40, White to the 41, brought down by K.J. Smith. Another nice gain, 5 yards on the pickup. Slayton on the run.
We haven't mentioned Calvin Smith, the middle linebacker for the Orange much, because the speed of this Mountaineer offense going around to the outside to the edge isn't smash mouth football, and a lot of it isn't done between the tackles. You get to the edge, it's tough tackling guys in space.
2nd and 4 at the 41. Clock runs with 4:28 to go. 3rd quarter. White keeps it. Plays worked all day. First down and more. Look at Patrick White go inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. First down, West Virginia. A gain of 23 yards. A.J. Brown on the tackle with Cornelius Campbell assisting.
Rich Rodriguez wants to let his fast guys get the football and see if they can tackle his players in space, and so far they haven't had the speed. You can see Calvin Jackson trying to get there, but he just doesn't have the foot speed to catch up to the quarterback Patrick White.
Man for man, the speed differential is huge. Slayton this time for about 5, maybe 6. Joe Fields with another tackle, and you know this, John, you got to start calling a free safety and a strong safety making all these tackles. That means your D-line, no factor, and the linebackers are not too much of a factor either.
No, and the Mountaineers up front are doing a good job getting a hat on a hat and getting into the secondary of the Orange. And Greg Robinson right now does not have an answer defensively to slow down White and Slayton.
If they can get near somebody, they need a strip badly. 2nd down, 5 at the 32 of Syracuse. Look at White. Look at this. 20, 15, 10. See ya. Touchdown. West Virginia, Patrick White. His 3rd rushing touchdown today. 32 yards. And the Mountaineers have a 30-14 lead.
Talk about Patrick White being able to throw the football effectively, but he makes his bread and butter on the ground. A 32-yard touchdown run, his 3rd of the afternoon, and they have no answers for number 5 in blue.
Before and after is good. Rich Rodriguez told us yesterday that he loves the decision-making process by Patrick White. He knows this offense. It's his offense. No better evidence than right here. 31-14 Mountaineers. Part of RV Nation here in Morgantown. I don't think anybody's in there yet. Pretty good show going on in the building. 31-14 Pat White coming up on a Big East and West Virginia rushing record. He's 2 yards short at 218.
Well, Patrick White has done such an excellent job of handling the football. Watch the alleyway and watch what West Virginia does here. Just a huge alleyway for Patrick White to get through. 32 yards, he really is untouched. The last guy there, Joe Fields, cannot put a hand on him. His opposite number 5, but Patrick White gets in, and it's just been so easy for this Mountaineer offense today. If it's not Slayton, it's Patrick White. They go 7 plays, 80 yards, they eat up some clock, and a 32-yard run by Patrick White.
A huge tip of the cap to Messrs. Ryan Stanchik, Greg Isdaner, Dan Moses, Jeremy Sheffy, and Jake Figner. The O-line for West Virginia, a mauling in process. White averaging 18.2 yards per carry. You can't do that on a video game, can you?
I don't know if you can do that on air.
Jeez. Man. There's McAfee. Whoa. This one a short pooch. They better get on it. They better get on it. West Virginia almost came up with that. But a pooch kick almost worked in West Virginia's favor. So Syracuse will start this next possession with a big mountain to climb. 3 touchdowns. What can Perry Patterson do? Find out right now. Half roll. Throws short, incomplete. Fullback Stephen McDonald can make the tackle. Reed Williams covering for West Virginia.
Patterson started this game 5 of 7 for 92 yards and a touchdown, and since he's had some drops. Perry's gone 3 for 9 for 50 yards, but it hasn't been all Perry Patterson when you take a look at those 6 incompletions. Tom Farron had a drop. A couple wide receivers have had drops, and Greg Robinson needs to try to find a way to correct that, especially on 2nd and 3rd and long.
Syracuse averaging 5.4 yards a play to West Virginia's 9.7. Keep it on the ground. Carter breaks, first down. Penalty flag, however, on the play as he gets it across the 45 to the 48-yard line. A run of 21 yards. John Holmes, help from Craig Wilson, make the stop. Patterson, is that Patterson limping back there?
Well, you see a little bit of carryover from last week starting to creep into the second half for Syracuse.
Number 76 offense. 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Second time they got Mike Sklarowski for a penalty. Sklarowski moves up to the left guard spot. They take the starter Carol Madison, move him to right tackle, and replace of Eugene Newsom, who had a very troublesome time last week.
And Dave, the Orange didn't make this mistake in the first half. They were able to move the ball, make some big plays, and they stayed away from the penalties on big plays. That time they were very productive running the football off the left side. It all comes back on a holding call, and you get 2nd and 20. This is a situation that really looks for a turnover by the Mountaineer defense.
Patterson, 2 receivers to his right. He's got a 2nd and forever here. And another flag, another drop too, incidentally. Discounting what's coming up here on this play. Up 5 penalties in the bag already for Syracuse, 4 for West Virginia.
Prior to the snap, false start, 64 offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
So 5 false starts. Chavers, 2nd time he's been called. This is really getting ugly.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Orange offense did against the Panthers at home last week. And you see Brian White to the top of your screen right here. And head coach Greg Robinson to the lower right-hand side. It's nothing you can do when you're jumping offside. You have holding calls and you have 2nd and 25. And you see the play comparison. Very even on plays, but not even on yardage.
Boys, you need some poise. Ball got tipped. Holmes on the blitz. Got a piece of it.
That hole to climb out of for the Orange is getting deeper and deeper, and the Mountaineer fans can feel it. The energy starting to get a little bit louder in the building, and the pressure in the pocket is starting to get hotter. Number 1, John Holmes, right here on the bottom of your screen, gets up and over the would-be block from the freshman Carter.
Boy, this is a down at 3rd and 25, short field. If you're a corner, you get a chance to jump a route, jump that bad boy. 3rd and 25, 12-yard line. Blitz coming. Patterson half roll. Off the hands of the receiver, Rice Moss. Ball was tipped, but it did get into the hands of the receiver. Larry Williams was there for West Virginia.
Not much you can do on 3rd and 25 for Perry Patterson, but he looked like he dropped it in the bucket to the junior out of North Bethesda, Maryland, Rice Moss, and he couldn't come up with the catch. And it's a big time, a big opportunity for Brendan Carney to step up with the wind at his back. He needs to get the Orange special teams out of their own end zone.
His long this year, 66. This is his 6th punt today, averaging 37 and change. He really needs a hammer one here. Got a low line drive punt. Rivers got room to return. They found an alley and spun down at the 35-yard line. A hang time of only 2.7, a punt of 38 yards, return of 16. Mike Chembrello makes the tackle. Syracuse has major issues here. Down 31-14, and the Mountaineers are going to start this drive at the 35-yard line. Take a look right now at the Big East standings, brought to you by esurance.com. Instant online car insurance. Glad to see conference play upon us right now, as West Virginia ready to rock 1st and 10. Make that West Virginia ready to rock 1st and 10 at the Syracuse 35. Slayton, big yardage, picks up 8 and change. Tony Jenkins on the tackle.
Dave, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't tell the difference sometimes when Slayton's carrying the ball and White's carrying the ball. The speed is so similar,
Yep.
and the running style is maybe a little bit more north and south for Slayton. But Patrick White and Slayton, that little wiggle and go, that explosion is so good in the Syracuse defense the last 3 weeks. You can see on the bottom, 455 yards, and we're still in the 3rd quarter.
It's 13, look like 13:25 real quick. Bubble screen, Renaud in space. Uh-oh. 1st down, West Virginia to the 12. Relentless attack by Rich Rodriguez, spread offense. Gain of 15 yards.
Good block on the outside by Tito Gonzalez, the sophomore wide receiver for the Mountaineers. That'll move the chains again, and this team is always on attack offensively. They are always got the pedal down, and that's a credit to Rich Rodriguez and what he does with the pace of this offense.
First and 10 at the 12. Whoa, high snap. Look at this, he breaks a play to the touchdown on a high snap. 4 touchdown runs, Patrick White. 37-14 Mountaineers. What a performance, a 12-yard run. So Dan Moses got a little too much on the snap. Never mind. Pat White went to get it. John Beilein, the West Virginia basketball coach, but to think about bringing him over. Chris Thorner, the injured Syracuse performer. Pat White, unbelievable. Breaks the school record. They're rushing for Patrick White, almost 230 yards.
Dave, they complement each other so well, Patrick White and Steve Slayton. They do such a great job of one having a big day and the other one's used as a decoy half the time. And Steve Slayton on that time wasn't in the play. Patrick White makes a great catch of a high snap and still is able to get it into the end zone.
The fact that he had to go get it probably helped the timing. Gave the guy extra time to get on the block and keep
exactly
it.
Right, Dave.
McAfee for the point after. What kind of a day has it been for McAfee? He's just showing up, banging out extra points. He's made a tackle earlier in the game. Nice and easy stroke. How about Patrick White? 13 carries, 230 yards, and 4 touchdowns as we check out our Liberty Mutual play of the game.
Patrick White, watch him elevate on the left hand, just a one-hand catch, but it actually gets the timing of the lineman to get out in front, and nobody can catch number 5 in blue. Great job by Jake Figner coming around again, pulling to the outside, and he just swallows up Calvin Smith, and that allows number 5 Patrick White, the quarterback, to get into the end zone for the easy touchdown.
Remarkable. This is one explosive ball club. 3 consecutive scores, a 40-yard run by White, a 32-yard run by White, and a 12-yard run by White. 3 plays, 35 yards in 35 seconds, and those scores, I mean, it's like an avalanche.
Patrick White is having a dream afternoon for any quarterback rushing the football. He's just been magnificent, moving this Mountaineer offense and leading it to a 38-14 lead.
McAfee dribbles one down. Good bounce, Brinkley's got it. Finds a hole, nice wheels. And in on the tackle, John Holmes with help from Reed Williams. If you're Syracuse, I think the run is now back on the bus. It's throwing and all throwing all the time.
And that's going to put a lot of pressure on their offensive line of trying to protect Perry Patterson. The main concern right now, if you're Syracuse, is not to hurt yourself with penalties. They've done that the last couple of series where they've had big plays for the offense coordinator Brian White, but they've really gone one step forward, 2 steps back, hurting themselves with flags.
Well, good news, they start at their own 40. They do run it. Brinkley gets punished. Well, clearly West Virginia's got more foot speed, almost man-to-man without question. 3 in the books as West Virginia sprints to the other end of the field. 38-14. Look at this run game. Patrick White, 4 touchdowns. He has been spectacular. Quarter here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Some downcast Orange fans, and it's easy to understand why after West Virginia put a 21 spot on the board in the 3rd quarter. Patrick White runs a 40, 32, and 12 yards. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, Syracuse, and the Big East crew on hand here in Morgantown. It's Davis in motion, and let me guess.
This has been the story of the second half for the Orange offense.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 75 offense, 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
Ryan Duran called, and I think that now makes it official. Every starting member of the O-line has at least 1 penalty, matching last week's low light.
Yeah, not something you're very proud of when you walk into that film study room tomorrow and Greg Robinson has to go over the procedure calls. You know the snap count. It's not that as loud as it could be in this stadium, so the sound isn't the issue.
See if Perry Patterson can hang in there, see if somebody can get free. That is scary right there. Deep drop against the blitz. It's picked up. He's flushed. He's in trouble. And down he goes inside the 35-yard line. At the 33 by Craig Wilson, the 3rd team sack this afternoon by the Mountaineers. First for Craig, a senior out of River Ridge, Louisiana.
Yeah, that'll give you a headache on the sideline. Craig Wilson getting around Marvin McCall, the junior out of St. Augustine, Florida. He's an athletic guy, but right here just beats him up the field. And nothing you can do if you're Perry Patterson. You have to try to protect the football, and that's all Perry could do is take the sack.
Third down, 16, 34-yard line. Mountaineers bring some pressure. Patterson hangs, throws, almost intercepted. Should have been by Eric Wick. Would have been his 2nd of the season. 4 3 and out.
Wicks almost timed that up perfectly. The senior out of Pittsburgh. Patterson's going to go back. He's under pressure, so he has to step up and elude the pass rush. Gets hit from behind just as he releases the football. That window was closed very quickly by the senior Eric Weeks.
Carney to punt from his 20. First 30 minutes, this was a ball game. 17-14 at the half. West Virginia put 3 touchdowns on the board in the third quarter. Into the wind. Bobbled. Rivers picks it up. If he hadn't bobbled, he had return right and he had room. 42 yards on the punt. No return. Timeout on the field here in Morgantown. Early on here in the fourth, it's all West Virginia. As we check out our game-changing performer, brought to you by Pontiac. And who are we going to go to?
You know what? I'm just going to guess it's Patrick White because he's still changing the game as we go along. And terrific runs of 69 yards, 40 yards, 32 yards, and 12 yards for touchdowns. He's done a great job of being athletic, making great decisions in the run game. He's thrown it effectively today, and he's just been spectacular this afternoon.
4 rushing touchdowns. Last time Syracuse gave up 4 rushing touchdowns on the 4 rushing touchdowns. Eddie Myers of Navy back in 1981. Eddie was a good running back. I think he was right before Napoleon McCallum. No, a little bit after him. Beg your pardon. Here's Slayton trying to get some of the action. Wow, to the 41-yard line. K.J. Smith, the tackle after a 16-yard gain.
Well, it's scary when these guys get on the edge. Slayton and White, they just do an unbelievable job. And the last time Syracuse allowed 400 yards plus, guess West Virginia.
Slayton 17 for a buck 46. Slayton bouncing it. 400 plus. Joe Fields runs him out of bounds. And I think that when you take a team's heart away, generally it's on the ground. They don't have to throw. Son, you got to stop the run, and we're just going to keep running it. We're not doing anything fancy. We're just bouncing it. We're running at you, and you're not stopping it. Hey, we can't help you.
Most teams defensively can hang for a while, but they don't realize the speed of the offensive backfield of the Mountaineers, but the toughness of the offensive line up front.
And this pace, too.
Yeah.
Look at that. Back up the line. You go, geez, what are we going to do on that play? They're back at it. Here's the hammer. Schmidt happens. And we have not forgotten Sarah Kustak.
She's cold
with us
on
right
that sideline.
She's right here right now.
Guys, don't forget that Steve Slayton didn't even play in the game last year. When we're talking to Coach Rodriguez, he said it wasn't even a thought. He said it's not like he was third team, second team. He was just sitting there watching the game. So big change in 1 year.
You bet. They got outgained, Syracuse did last year, 339 to 103 in a 15-7 loss. That was the season opener last year. Oh, good. Oh, that's a good performance. He didn't break anything big, but you can hear the contact. That was a football play. Dwayne Davis got knocked down. 3 yards on the game. Davis did a good job hanging in there, but Slayton, boy, he was proactive there.
Yeah, he did a good job. He knew he couldn't get the edge, but he had to set up the defender to try to get him to stop his momentum. And right there, the second one right there stops him. Now he can drive and get lower, get his pad level lower than the defender coming up. Dwayne Davis on the tackle.
Now, while Davis took the brunt of that blow, he saved 6 for the moment. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Owen Schmidt running downhill for about 3. To the 38-yard line, Tony Jenkins on the carry. 3 minutes in, fourth quarter. 21 points put on the board by Patrick White. Mountaineers went from a 17-14 halftime lead to this, where we are right now at 38-14.
Yeah, it seems so long ago that Syracuse was up 7-0 in this football game.
Perry Patterson hit Mike Williams, 47 yards. First time Syracuse had the ball. The story's been dramatically different here in the second half. Here's White on the edge. to the 20-yard line. You folks remember the old TV show, Danger Roll Robinson. Major issues right now as this West Virginia offense unrelenting.
Well, a great job by Patrick White of getting the linebacker inside, A.J. Brown, going right around him and then using his speed on the outside. The first 5 games, 4 rushing touchdowns. Today, he matches that.
14 carries, John, 247, 2, 4, and 7 with time left on this drive, and it's got to be the last time we see him today. Talking about Pat White. Look at Slate. Defender over. White has 4 touchdowns on the ground today. 247 yards rushing. Inside the 15 to the 14. Pat White came in 4 touchdowns on the ground. So he's doubled that today. Lee Williams with the tackle. K.J. Harris holds the school record at 337 yards. He went 25 for 337 against East Carolina 2 years ago. That's really sick. 347.
That is.
That was about 4 games for me. 5 games, maybe a season. Good Lord.
I think that's how many yards I had in losses.
Man, 347.
That's a huge game.
Jeez.
And I think Rich Rodriguez really likes the pace that his
With the
offense.
clock operator, please put 10, 12 on the.
I was saying, David, I think Rich Rodriguez really likes the pace that his offense played at today. And last
10,
week,
12.
they struggled a little bit, and they struggled because the defense couldn't get off the field. And today they found a way to get off the field. They limited their penalties, and they played with a purpose on offense. They had great pace and great vision, and 2 of the best players in the country stood up and were accounted for.
Boy, it almost, when you look at the time comparison, the O-line can look at the defensive guys and say, hey, were you guys on vacation today or what?
By the way, what'd you guys do today?
Yeah, right. We had a pretty good day. What'd you do? Look at this. Ooh, almost a catch to the second receiver. And that was Tito Gonzalez, the back guy. The front guy of in the end zone was Renaud.
Yeah, I think Patrick Wright was trying to get it to Darius Reynard around the goal line and had some pressure in his face, so the delivery was a little bit high. After the play fake, he's going to roll to his left, and that pressure on the inside from Jameel McLean made the delivery of the football just a touch high. Patrick gets away with just an incompletion and not the interception.
32-yard attempt coming up. Pat McAfee. McAfee, a lot of confidence, bangs that one through. So he's got a 32 to go with his 25-yarder back in the second quarter. The first one made it 10-7. So a fine day all around offensively for the West Virginia Mountaineers. They're finding holes and getting through them and doing it on a regular basis. Good kick, McAfee. Drives Brinkley 3 yards into the end zone. Second half yardage, Syracuse 42 to West Virginia's 263. 5:42 game, Syracuse for 231. So take a look at our upcoming schedule. Advance Auto Parts brings it to us for the best parts, people, and prices. We're ready in advance. How about what, the heater to the frying pan? Pick one. They got Louisville next week.
They got Louisville next week.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schedule Maker.
Yeah, back to back, they get West Virginia, and now they get the number 7 team in the country. So they'll look to get on track maybe at Cincinnati or at USF.
Wobbler. Flags, yes.
Definitely pass interference.
Rivers called for the infraction.
Bob Rivers sitting on the flag.
Tried to get it to Jeremy Horn, redshirt freshman, Albany, New York.
Pass interference. Number 19, defense. The penalty is 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Automatic first down.
Referee today, John McDeed.
Well, he definitely made contact with the arms before he even touched the ball right there. You can see right there, he goes right through the arms of the Syracuse wide receiver and over the back. He doesn't get him with the back, but he does get him with his arms. Not sure if that ball would have been able to be brought down, but still get the flag.
From the 35, LeVar Lobdell is the motion man. Give it to Carter for maybe a yard. Big game in the Big East, a non-conference game, but number 24 Rutgers on the road at Navy.
We figured that would be a tough game because Navy played so well against UConn a couple of weeks ago when we had that game up in Connecticut.
Didn't they beat Air Force the following week?
Yes, they did. 24-21, I believe. A tough physical game, and another tough physical game here. And Coach Robinson trying to get some answers to get the Orange back into the end zone.
Second down and 8. Short drop over the middle. Taken down immediately is J.J. Neshwa. Well, next week, on the back judge. Too much time. Syracuse, and back him
Prior to
up.
snap. Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
No words needed on that picture on the sidelines, Dave. Just seems like every offensive lineman has committed a procedure penalty. Now Perry Patterson cannot snap the ball in the allotted time, so it'll bring another long third down situation up for number 10.
They've all arrived at the party at the same time.
Yes.
3rd and 9. Blitz coming. Look out. Knocked down as the defender jumps the route and effectively breaks up that play. Well done by Larry Williams, a junior from Highland Springs, Virginia.
Seemed like the pocket's been collapsing around Perry Patterson all afternoon. He did another good job of stepping up into the pocket and delivering the football to the outside, but a good break on the football by Larry Williams.
Perry Patterson started the game with a fairly hot hand. Now here's Kearney, gonna have to kick into a stiff breeze. Rivers bobbled the last one. We got this one straight up in the air. Fair catch, 21-yard line, 44 yards on the punt. Great hang time too, 4.5 seconds. Timeout on the field. West Virginia in command. New quarterback coming in. Tell you about him when we return to Morgantown. As we look at the second team quarterback, Jared Brown takes a lick in there from Mike Owen, a redshirt freshman from Riverhead, New York, number 54 for Syracuse. Just look at Jared, a redshirt freshman, West Palm Beach, Florida. He's a little bit bigger than Pat White at 6'3", 220. And he's already rushed for a touchdown on the season.
Jeez, he can't.
Richie Rodriguez, some frustration there. Can't hear me.
Gotta coach them all. Gotta coach them all the time. That's
somebody
right.
couldn't see whatever play Richie was trying to get in.
Hey, there it goes. Stay.
Some operation, isn't it? Jared Brown, look at this. Across the 15, nice gain. And set up a 3rd and short. Picks up 8. Dwayne Davis. Pat White's day, it just... If there are people out there that do college fantasy football, they're cha-chinging large today. White, 12 of 19, 99 yards, 1 pick. Rushing, 15 for 247 and 4 scores. 4th most all-time in school history. Goodness gracious.
Spectacular afternoon for a nice young man. Only a sophomore, Dave.
Mm-hmm. They're down in 2. On the edge, fumble, picked up. He did get it. Picked up by 2. Double tights to the right. They run Carter looking for that cutback for a couple. Andrew Robinson at quarterback. Tackled by Jay Henry. Carter had 4 touchdown runs against Wyoming, all on cutback, and everybody in the country saw it.
Yeah.
So when he comes in, everybody's staying at
Don't
home.
overplay. Good look at the quarterback, Andrew Robinson, in for Perry Patterson, 6'3", 217, only a freshman out of Baltimore.
Hey kid, you want to play some football? Number 5 team's waiting for you right now.
Yeah.
In motion. Carter, not a lot doing there. Carter 5'10", 200. Patrick White, he'll be a national star of the day because I defy anybody to show numbers.
Yeah, give me this one right here. That's the one I like. 247 rushing, 4 touchdowns, and only on 15 carries. I mean, just unbelievable day. You couldn't draw it up any better, Dave.
Well, I just took that White out and redid the record book.
That's right.
Look at that, 247 today. 16.5 yards per carry. Robinson wants a throw blitz coming down. He goes. Make that. Thought it was Boo McLean. He's long gone. That is Aaron Mextroth. 4th sack today by the Mountaineers. And they're going to bring on Patrick Shadle.
42.
Shadle will come in, a Morgantown native. 34-yard attempt. Carney to hold. 34-yard attempt. On count, bad snap. But a good job by Shadle. And Rom may play today against Cincinnati. Raynaud, ooh, it's a good thing there was a contain man there because the punter was the last man standing. Raynaud, good-looking return. Nicholas Chestnut with the tackle for the Orange.
Another Orange special teams player slow to get up.
That's Chestnut, the man who made the tackle. Well, West Virginia's second unit crew, they're ready to rock right now. They're up at the line, playing at the same pace that the first team unit played at.
Yeah, there's no let up in Rich Rodriguez. He's going to coach one way, so if you're going to play for him offensively, you're going to have to play at his pace, and usually that pace ends up in W's in the win column.
On for his 4th Big East championship. Jared Brown, 2nd series at quarterback. Colson, the starter last year, when they fumbled, the ball was down. Let's see. Colson fumbled 3 times last year. 4 touchdown performance by quarterback Patrick White, all on the ground. 3-step drop. Robinson a little bit ahead of the receiver. LeVar Lobdell, the redshirt freshman from Syracuse, who came in with 4 catches. Lobdell's out of Syracuse with the Christian Brothers Academy.
Rich is not done coaching on the sidelines. He's going to get his good look at guys that don't get to play all the time, both on offense and defense, and be able to critique their performance, you know, in the film room tomorrow. And this is how you get better as a team. And if you're going to stay in the top 5 in the country, this is how you get better as in your depth. 2:32 to go. BCS coming out tomorrow. We'll revisit your thoughts on that. Whoa, there's a sack back at the 40-yard line. Sack and a strip.
And West Virginia's recovered. Zach Cooper recovered. 5th sack. Nice job in there. West Virginia's Adam Serena got the sack, a senior. Boy, it has been a disaster for Syracuse today. 5 sacks by the Mountaineers.
Left side of your screen, just a clean shot. And the ball pops loose clearly, and the Mountaineer defense running to the football. They get on it, and they get that turnover right back.
So 2:14, Mountaineers looking to run out the clock. Jared Brown. Project ahead here a little bit, John. As you see, West Virginia, clearly one of the top offensive ball clubs. They got a tremendous tilt coming up on the 2nd, I believe, of November, Thursday night against Louisville. At this moment, how do you see that game?
Oh, very even. West Virginia definitely has the advantage offensively on the ground. But Louisville, they returned 8 or 9 starters defensively, so they should have the experience to try to have answers, although no one has been able to slow down the Mountaineers on the ground all season.
Louisville has the #1 total offense team entering today's action at 523 yards per game. To the 45-yard line.
I think
that connection with Nate Sowers.
The key to that game, Dave, will be how the Mountaineers defensively can get off the field. Offensively, I think they're going to be able to score points on anybody. Defensively, it's going to be trying to get off the field against Louisville.
West Virginia entered today #9 in total offense nationally. Louisville #1. So they combined for 969 yards. That's what their combined average numbers are entering today's action. Final minute of play here. We'll run up the middle. And a loose ball in there.
Jason Colson on the carry.
And the clock is going to run down. So on homecoming, a very successful performance by the Mountaineers of West Virginia. 13th consecutive win, ties the school record. Mountaineers go to 6-0 overall, 1-0 in Big East play, while Syracuse drops to 3-4 overall and 0-2. Greg Robinson still looking for his first Big East Conference win. Second half performance overwhelming by West Virginia, coming away with a 41-17 victory over the Syracuse Orange, the 5th consecutive win by West Virginia over Syracuse. Patrick White, virtually unstoppable today.
He did such a great job on the edge, making big plays for Rich Rodriguez's offense. And Steve Slayton had a great afternoon. Perry Patterson started early for the Orange offensively, but too much talent in the end for the Mountaineers.
Look pretty good.
You think? Yeah. I like their chances.
What, homecoming crowd got everything they wanted and more. It was even a little bit of suspense as well because Syracuse played a good first half, surprising just about everybody.
Yeah, they really did what they needed to do offensively in the first half. They scored points, they scored them early, and it just wasn't enough in the end.
Their tradition, they play John Denver's Country Roads Take Me Home here at West Virginia. And let's join Sarah Kustok, who's standing by with Rich Rodriguez.
Coach, talk to me a little bit about what opened this game up for you in the second half.
Well, our offense took control a little bit in the second half, scored a couple long drives, and then our defense did a great job in the second half making some adjustments, and we felt comfortable if we could just get the ball offensively, and our guys did a nice job in the second half.
And the performance of Patrick White,
right on.
Quarterback.
Yeah, he comes to compete like that every day in practice, in the games. He's a great leader, and it was good to get him loose a little bit tonight.
How is your preparation going to change this week with the short week against
Well, we got a short week. We've had it one other time this year, so our guys are used to it a little bit, but we'll watch this tomorrow, get the corrections tried to made, and then start on UConn right away.
And I saw earlier this week you talked about a new season with the Big East play. What does this win mean to you?
Well, we've been really proud to have a couple of Big East championships the last few years. Our guys take a lot of pride in that, and we're going to keep trying to defend our championships.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck next weekend.
Thank
Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Rich Rodriguez. Hugs all around the room for Patrick White. And I'll tell you what, Perry Patterson continues to grow. He did not have a lot of help defending the fort today.
No, he didn't. He had to do a lot of dodging, and and moving around in that pocket, stepping up, trying to elude tacklers, and he did a good job protecting the football and kept his team in the football game early, but it was just too much talent on the other side. They didn't have enough answers offensively, did the Orange, trying to get into the end zone, and then it was the Patrick White show every time the Mountaineer offense had the ball.
Slayton had good numbers, but it was an oh by the way when you compare it to what Patrick White did.
I mean, it was spectacular what he did on the ground.
Slayton put up numbers. He ran for 20 carries for 163. Normally that is your
we didn't even mention.
Yo, Steve, my man, he ran for